mentality of find the open guy and throw him the ball. That's the mentality of a quarterback. Then he runs. Now, everybody wants to use the argument, well, he had this many rushes. That's not him choosing to run. That's his offensive coaching staff trying to kill the kid and ruin his career, because that's what will happen. He's built like Aaron, and so you don't need to design runs for him. That's what you got running backs for. He can do it. That's the huge difference. So I don't want to hear like this. He's got a true quarterback's mentality of throwing the ball and then using it. It's always about throwing the ball first with Lamar Jackson. That's the difference.
Man, I don't want to get too hung up on it. I hate to disagree with you, but I mean, just if you look at the 6-0 streak that the Panthers started on last season, Cam's numbers were great, completion percentage-wise. I mean, he was doing much better than Lamar Jackson is to this point. And I don't even have to mention that MVP season where, yes, it was a lot of the rushing, but it was also a lot of throwing the ball down the field. So I'll just leave it there. We can look at the numbers from those seasons, but the numbers speak for themselves. He was a great passer in those seasons.
Numbers will lie to you like the devil trying to steal your soul. You got to watch the game film, and an NFL quarterback, to make an NFL quarterback, to be elite, to be a consistent, you have to make 5 to 10 tight window throws per game. I'm talking in between double coverage. I'm talking defenders man on man, draped on them, hands in there. Cam averages less than 2 of those per game. No, stop it. His throws, his completion percentage, when it skyrockets over 60%, they're not tight window throws. It is about scheming him open and using. So no, the numbers are great, but when you watch the film, he is not making your consistent NFL tight window throws. That is on the offensive staff and the rest of the players around him doing a great job within the scheme.
Jay, what do you think they're doing in Baltimore? Greg Roman is running read option and run RPO every single time.
They're doing that, and that's what I said. They're doing it, and what they're going to end up doing if they keep doing it is they're going to ruin their franchise quarterback that can potentially play for the next 15 years because they want to utilize his athleticism. They need to get away from that because that's the worst thing in the world Baltimore can do with this kid because of all the things I just said. Like, that's something you do with Colin Kaepernick, with RG3, with Cam Newton, because their mentality is run first, use my athleticism, arm is second. This kid has shown you in college, under Petrino, that when you ask him to stand in the pocket and be a quarterback or tell him his job's to throw the ball, he's got no issue doing that, and that is absolutely his number one mindset. You can't help that his coaching staff, this kid is like, 212? I'm telling you, he's built like Aaron Rodgers. He's like 6'2.5", 215, 220 when he's got bricks in his pocket, and he's a slight build guy. They're going to get him broken by doing this. And he knows damn well that's why he's worked so hard throughout his entire career going back to college to prove that he can play within the pocket and be a quarterback, because he knows and he's been told by many people, you're not built like Cam, you'll get broken. And so I'm not going to blame him for what they're trying to do with him offensively because he's being a team player. But I hate to lump him in with the guys like RG3 and Cam Newton and Colin Kaepernick, because there couldn't be any bigger of a crevasse in the differences in their mechanics as a quarterback overall from the Cam Newton Kaepernick to what Lamar Jackson has showed you on film. It's not about the numbers or what they're doing or whether he's running. It's about when I analyze them in the pocket and when I analyze them moving around behind the pocket with chances to deliver the ball, this kid is doing the same shit that Aaron Rodgers did at a young age, but he's just a better athlete. He's getting more yards, and they actually design runs for him because he's a better athlete. But I think that's the wrong choice for him. I couldn't be any more adamant. That's not the right way to use him and keep him around long term. That's how to recycle this guy in the next 5 years and be looking for the next kid. And he's definitely special. That doesn't mean he's going to amount to anything, but he's got the potential, and you see it on film.
What else you got in news, Dave?
Malcolm Butler for the Titans was put on IR. So that's a big hit to the corner spot for the Titans. The Jets placed Trumaine Johnson and wide receiver Josh Bellamy on injured reserve. So now the Jets are just putting more people on there. Also, a little bit of Eagles fly news.
No, don't do it.
They worked out Jordan Matthews today. The old reliable coming back.
Hey, welcome back.
Also, Dean Spanos, the owner of the Los Angeles Chargers, there was a rumor out there saying linking the Chargers to London, England, of possible moving them as a permanent team. Pardon the French, folks, but he said, quote unquote, that report is total fucking bullshit. From owner.
You said it.
Chargers owner. So he's shutting down the UK rumors. I mean, their home games are basically away games, but you know what? The Chargers, I feel like, aren't a team you should shove over there. If anything, it's the Jaguars. Like, I feel like owner Khan was trying to get them over there a while before the Chargers, so
send them the Browns.
I think England might negate that. Also,
I don't think any
Jaguars. Huh?
Just real quick, I'll say I'm not a fan of sending any team over there, but I'll leave it there.
I wouldn't mind sending the Lions. That just gives the NFC North a bad name.
Just too much travel, hassle. I get it's easy, but just ridiculous.
No, send the Lions, please. Please. Get rid of them. But speaking of the Jaguars before, they have now named Nick Foles the starting quarterback.
There he is, big you-know-what, Nick.
The nickname doesn't sound as good when you
have to edit yourself. Yeah,
Big
well, we're a family
Stick
show.
Nick. It's Big Stick Nick.
Speaking of big sticks, Jay, how many curls do you do before this show?
Dude, I haven't even worked out in like 3 days. I'm sorry. I'm freaking hot. I was outside throwing wood and shit. I can't help that I'm freaking ripped.
Were you Rocky Balboa before the
Dude.
Russian fart in the woods of Russia?
The ladies and the husbands are lucky that we don't view video online yet, because, boy, let me tell you.
Dude, you guys are like obsessed with my hair and my body. And I'm not going to kill myself in this basement and wear clothes so that you guys can stop being enamored by the fact that I put a lot of time into this shit.
I'm trying to take a screenshot.
What?
Don't do that.
One more Eagles announcement.
God,
Deshaun Jackson has been put on injury.
No, don't do it.
I know Dillon's hurting with that, but Deshaun Jackson has shown his ugly head again. He plays solid for 1 to 2 games and goes down for most of the season. Just like old Philadelphia at times.
Okay, here's why it's not just disappointing, it's extra disappointing. It's like when your dad looks at you and says, "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed." Okay? Ever since the initial Super Bowl run, when Carson Wentz was drafted, okay, we knew we needed a deep threat. We get Alshon on board after a horrible year with just Jordan Matthews and Chip Kelly's boys that he drafted, Huff out of Oregon, and I forget who else was on the wing, but anyway, yeah, started off with Jordan Matthews. So we move on. Wentz' second year, Alshon Jeffrey comes in. Whoop, we're ready to go. All right. Torrey Smith comes on board. Okay, ready. We're going to make this run. Well, Wentz goes down, and then an MVP season. Never get to truly unleash Torrey Smith and his deep threat abilities. And here we are, third year, coming back. Here we are with Wentz. We're going to make it now. We got Alshon Jeffrey, and here's Mike Wallace. He's always been a deep threat. He can get it done right. Oh, you don't even remember Mike Wallace as an Eagle, do you? No.
I do.
It's like it never even happened.
Is he still in the league?
I do.
I'm not sure, but he's certainly not on Philadelphia anymore. And now, finally, after all the years of being away and watching Deshaun Jackson be the deep threat continuously throughout the years that he always has been in Philadelphia, and every time he faces the Eagles, it seems like he scores on them with a 50-yard touchdown just to give us the extra kick in the pants. We get a chance to have him back. And it's like, all right, here he is, D-Jax, baby, welcome back. We love you. First game of the season, Washington Redskins. We're down. We need him desperately. What's Carson Wentz do? Looks deep to Deshaun Jackson, hits him for a touchdown. What's he do later in the game to put the cherry on top? Hits Deshaun Jackson for another touchdown. And Eagles fans are going, yes, this is what we've been waiting for since we drafted Carson Wentz. And now, after weeks of waiting for Deshaun Jackson to return, like you guys have been waiting for Devontae Adams to return, the first quarter he's in the game, Deshaun Jackson has to exit, and now he's shut down for the entire season.
It's an epitome of the Eagles' past seasons with Deshaun Jackson. It really is.
I just can't.
You don't need him, Dillon.
Did you say you can't?
Without him.
We've won without him, but you guys can clearly see that's the missing piece in our offense is a vertical threat.
That's what. For.
There's a guy named AB84, and I heard you guys might give him a workout during the bye.
Don't get me started.
Ooh, Antonio slap a little paint on the painter. Brown.
Talk about the wrong place for the wrong guy at the wrong time.
Philly would tear him apart. That crowd would tear him apart.
No thanks. I'd rather have Percy Harvin.
Sorry, he just got another concussion. He just said his name. He's done.
Well, he could light one up and get back on the field.
Another IR news candidate. Like I said, folks, there was a ton of them today. Quan Alexander for the 49ers, the general of that defense. They brought in big money to bring him in. He was an underrated linebacker for years for Tampa, put in a lot of work, finally got to a defense where they're undefeated, and he goes down. It's just
another one of those guys from LSU, linebacker U.
Well, it's a big hit because look what happened after he went out.
Wait a second. No.
There we go.
He technically was a DB in college, and as a first 2 years of his career, he was a strong safety. He's an undersized middle linebacker, and that's why he blew his knee out, because they're putting too much pressure on him playing there. Because he's playing in a 3-4 where he's supposed to be a big thumper. He's not playing in a dime or nickel. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I think he had a little bit of an injury history when he was in Tampa Bay. That's probably why they didn't pay him big money, guys. Usually when the people that draft you and have you in the building and know your medical history and you're still a good player where somebody ends up giving you a big contract, it brings up guys like T.J. Lang, big contract, injured. Josh Sitton, let go.
They were also
contract,
aging,
injured.
too.
Doesn't age and injury really are par for the course. If you're injured, you're injured. It is even worse if you're old. You expect to get injured. If you're young and being injured all the time, you're genetically flawed. The first 6 to 7 years, Lang and Sitton weren't injured. They were fine.
Quan Alexander, same thing. His injury history didn't spike up until maybe, I think, last year, and then that was it.
I feel like he's been dinged up throughout college and going into the pros, but as an NFL team, obviously that's something you weigh throughout the process of drafting a guy, and the higher you take him, the more confident you feel that he won't get re-injured. So obviously they felt strongly he wouldn't get re-injured. It's happened quite a few times, and that's just the way it is.
My biggest thing is look at when Quan Alexander was in the game, and you had Kenyon Drake freshly added to the team, barely knew the playbook. He goes out, Drake frickin' tears it up.
Jay is more vain than he likes to give on. And I know that didn't come through with the audio, and I'm sorry, Dave, we can get right back to that, but flexing his pec muscles, folks, like he's the freaking Rock on Monday Night Raw. All right, back to you, Dave.
It's like a dirty man's Cactus Jack.
He is. He's like Spike Dudley on the Spike.
Did you just call him Spike Dudley?
I did.
Oh, my God. He wears the glasses, too. You need to grow your hair out, Jay, even longer.
Dude, no. If I was going to be any small former WWE wrestler, I would be Crash Holly.
Good choice.
I was thinking more Hornswoggle.
You look more like Hornswoggle than I do.
Yeah. I was thinking more X-Pac.
X-Pac, 1, 2, 3 kid.
Hey, yo. Big.
What was that little shoulder shimmer I just saw? What was that little shoulder shimmer No,
He's feeling froggy tonight. He's cracking out the natty light. He's
Razor
got the
Ramon
wife beater on. He's good
like
to go.
6'8", man.
It's Keystone Light. Thank you.